In 1979, sightings of her caused such terror that it shut down schools, had parents forming escort groups, and put an entire nation on edge. So who is Kuchisake Onna? Where did this terrifying story come from? And would you escape if you came face to face with her? Welcome to the mysteries of mythology. Kuchisake Onna. The Kuchisake Onna story is one of those with many origins. In one version, she's a jealous woman often said to be her sister, who mutilated her face. In another version, it was a botched surgery, but the most popular version goes back to Japan's Edo-period, which lasted from 1603 to 1868. The story goes that long ago, there was a woman whose beauty was unmatched. She knew it, and so did every man who laid eyes on her. She married a proud samurai, but while he was away at war, loneliness turned into temptation. One affair became many. Her lovers grew richer, stronger, and even more powerful each time. Rumors began to spread, whispers of a woman who would only take the strongest suitors. And eventually those whispers reached the ears of her husband. One night, after returning from battle, the samurai celebrated his victory with his friends. Drinks flowed and stories were told, until one companion spoke of a beauty nearby, the very same woman who had drawn so many men. Intrigued, the samurai followed his friend to the house. The closer they came, the more familiar the streets looked. Finally, they stopped at a red door. The friend grinned. "She lives here." But the samurai froze. "This is my house." He burst in. There, in his own bed, was his wife with another man. Rage took him. His sword pierced her lover's back, and as the man collapsed, the samurai turned to his wife. He gripped her tightly and sneered. "Do you think you are beautiful?" Then, with one brutal stroke, he dragged his blade across her mouth from ear to ear. It said she died with those screams still on her lips, but she didn't stay dead. She returned as the Slit-Mouthed Woman, a vengeful spirit, roaming the streets with her disfigured smile hidden by a mask, waiting to ask her victims the very same question. "Do you think I'm beautiful?" Unlike some YouTubers, I try to read each and every comment I get. So let me know which mythical creatures you'd like to see next, and dropping a like is enormously helpful to the channel and will be massively appreciated. Kuchisake Onna is usually described as both a yokai and onryo. A yokai is a supernatural creature or spirit in Japanese folklore. They can be mischievous, terrifying, or sometimes even helpful, but they all exist outside of natural order. The onryo, on the other hand, is something darker. It's a vengeful spirit, the ghost of someone wronged in life, who returns to the living world driven by anger and revenge. And being an urban legend means that she's not hiding in some cave or some distant forest. She walks the same streets that you do. Disguised as a beautiful woman, her face is usually half hidden by long black hair. She approaches quietly, wearing a simple surgical mask covering her mouth. In the West, it's become more common to wear a mask after the pandemic. But in Japan, masks have been a normal sight for some time, worn to stop the spread of colds or to guard against pollen. So nothing about her appearance would seem unusual. But then she asks, "Watashi kirei?" which translates to, "Am I beautiful?" If you say no, she will kill you instantly, often with a long pair of razor-sharp scissors. If you say yes, she slowly lowers her mask to reveal her face, a gruesome mouth cut open from ear to ear. And then she asks, "Kore demo?" which means, "Even now?" If you say no, she'll kill you where you stand. Say yes, and she lets you live, but only after carving the same grotesque smile into your own face. Her victims are trapped in a cruel riddle, one that leaves no answer without suffering. And if you try to run, you'll only find her in front of you. No matter where you turn, she is super fast. Some say there are ways to escape unharmed, but I'll get to that later. Urban legends are usually dismissed by the authorities, but in 1979, Kuchisake Onna story leapt from the playground ghost stories onto the front pages of local newspapers. It began in the Gifu Prefecture, where reports surfaced of children being chased by a masked woman, said to be carrying a pair of scissors. The stories spread fast, and soon headlines warned of the Slit-Mouthed Woman hunting school routes. Parents began to panic. Schools organised group walks so children wouldn't travel alone. Volunteers and teachers formed escort lines, and police patrols were stepped up across the region. Within days, the fear spilled beyond Gifu into the neighbouring prefectures, and eventually across the country. For weeks, Japan was gripped by the story of the Slit-Mouthed Woman. The urban legend had grown so powerful that the newspapers, schools, and even the police treated it as a genuine threat. Some papers reported that a woman carrying scissors was arrested, but there aren't any official or surviving police records about the arrest. So either this was made up to calm the nation's nerves, or the Kuchisake Onna just disappeared. Let me know what you think. So I guess the most important question is, how do you get away from Kuchisake Onna without getting a matching smile? Most sources agree that once she chooses you, there's no easy way out. Over time, people have suggested tricks or loopholes that might just save you. The first method is to answer ambiguously. When she asks, "Am I beautiful?" instead of saying yes or no, say ma, which means so-so or average. The idea is to confuse her, to buy you just enough time so that you can run away. The next method is to use candy, especially beko ame, a traditional amber sugar sweet. Offer it to her or throw them on the floor and she becomes distracted, letting you slip away. There's also the legend of the word pomade. Some say she hates the smell of it, and if you repeat the word pomade 3 times, she flees. Other tellings suggest you can survive by claiming you're in a hurry. She then bows politely, apologizes, and lets you pass. These escape routes sound weird, and they are. So if a masked woman ever steps into your path and asks, "Am I beautiful?" choose your words very carefully. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'm Eddie, and I hope to see you in the next video.